The majority of people lack discipline and rely on motivation solely to do their work, but I want to explain why that is wrong. So, before I get into discipline, I want to make a side tangent about motivation. So many people on self improvement hate on motivation and think that you should only have discipline. And while discipline is more important than motivation, wouldn't it be nice to like to do the work anyway? It's great to have motivation, just make sure that you also have discipline. So, discipline should be supplemented with motivation rather than replacing motivation entirely. When you have both, that means that you're going to be able to outwork everyone while having the most fun. And isn't that just a dream life, you know? So, the reason that you don't have discipline is because you act based on your feelings. Uh, this is because of your brain's amygdala, the lizard brain, which tries hard for survival rather than thriving. So it prioritizes the bad habits. For example, evolutionarily, uh, eat that junk food, you're gonna need the calories later. Or go watch TV, you're gonna need the rest. The brain doesn't, this part of the brain doesn't want us to achieve anything beyond our bare minimum for survival. And that's why we should never listen to it. It's completely wrong to listen to the lizard brain. So, the way we fix this is we start acting logically. We use our prefrontal cortex instead, which is a newer part of our brain and is a logical part of our brain. And the way we use this is that we plan things in advance when our emotions don't have an influence on us. So, for example, you plan the work that you do a day in advance, or you plan out the work for the week. But what you never do is that you just arrive on the spot and you have no plan of action. So you just go and wing it. You do whatever you can because you're gonna make excuses, right? It's just human nature. Obviously, we can't fight it that well. However, there are still going to be times where you did everything right, but you're still having excuses pop up in your brain. Now, I will talk about how to fix these excuses. And we need to train our discipline. Discipline can be trained just like a skill in a video game. It's very logical, and my personal favorite training methods for discipline are running and martial arts. When running, you learn a lot about life because you're running along a track and you have a long way ahead of you. And especially if you're running without music, it's just you and your thoughts. And you could quit at any time. You could just go home. But you keep running because of your discipline. And other things being martial arts and CrossFit. Martial arts work the same way, where it's this type of training where you could do 10 more push ups right now, but you choose to rest for 30 seconds because you're weak. And you could technically jump rope for an entire hour, but you'll be tired after 30 seconds and stop. And that is the challenge. Like, there's always progress to be made there. Whereas with another training method like weightlifting, you can either lift the weight or you can't. And the third reason, the third and final reason why you aren't disciplined is that you have these distractions that are readily available to you in the first place. The most common example of this is notifications, is having your phone by your side while you work. As I'm recording this right now, I have my phone in a different room on a different floor of my house. It's all the way up there so that it doesn't go off with some WhatsApp message. And, because I can't risk that. Every notification will sap about 5% of your brain power. And imagine they're going off like in some big group chat. And even though it's about 6 a.m. right now, I still can't risk it. I just, I can't risk getting any notifications. I can't risk stopping my flow state. So that's the first thing. You don't work next to your phone. Other distractions could be like video games on your computer. You just have to make sure that none of that is open, so that you don't have an excuse to hop on it when you try to do the work. You have to make sure to plan your work ahead of time, like we said before, and make sure that your computer is ready for you to only do the work and nothing else. And after you finish this block of deep work, then you can start worrying about other shallow tasks or entertainment or learning. And yeah, subscribe to my channel, like the video, go follow my Patreon. You can hire me as a coach for self improvement on Patreon, and that's about it for today. See ya.